What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video after a New York Jets preseason loss to the New York Giants. Wanted to share some Aaron Glenn post-game clips as he ripped the Jets' sloppy effort in their 31-12 preseason loss to the New York Giants. Aaron Glenn in the post-game press conference said, "Not good enough at all."
When you look at the overall game, wasn't good enough at all. I mean, that's no surprise. And on all levels, I thought we were sloppy. I thought we were undisciplined. And when I say undisciplined, I'm talking about some of the penalties that we had. I think we had about 8 or 9 penalties that we got to clean up. But overall, man, we got to play much better. And that's the beauty of this game. You know, it's the beauty of this game because it always teaches you lessons. Right? One week, man, you could be riding high because things are going extremely well. Then the next week, man, it can put you on your ass. It can put you on your ass. And the thing about it, man, if you want to be a winning team, you have to always do everything you can to stay at that level of always keeping things above board. And we didn't do that today. And I understand that. The only thing that we have to do is make sure we look at the positives in this era. We had a really good 2-minute drive. Thought our offense did a hell of a job. We had two INTs on the defensive side. Everything else that we did was wrong, man, we go back to work next week, right? And that's the plan for us, to go back to work. Any questions?
One of the things he mentioned was the penalties, and honestly, they did cut them back. They went from 10 to 7. They still want to get that number a little bit lower, and that's an area of concern for Aaron Glenn, as he's mentioned it multiple times. But I think the word that he kept using is appropriate. It was a sloppy effort from the Jets, and it not just on the penalty front. They let up in the first half 2 big plays to the New York Giants, and that's one that he clearly wanted, or 2, I guess, that he clearly wanted back. The big one of the game was the 80-yard reception from Russell Wilson down to Collins to the 1-yard line where Andre Sisco was beat. Glenn was really not happy about that one. And then just, kind of the passing offense in general, too, after that.
What was your overall thoughts on the starting offense?
Overall, in general, we weren't good enough. I don't care if it's the starting offense. I don't care if it's the second-team offense, the third-team offense. I'm just going to say overall it wasn't good enough. Listen, I thought we ran the ball fairly well, right? But just overall I thought we were sloppy. And the guys know that. We had too many drop passes. Our passing game have to be better, right? We all know that, and it will be better. But, again, we just have to go back to work. And that's what next week is going to be about. Man, honestly, there's going to be a lot of noise on the outside, and I get it, all right? But our guys know, man, we're going to put our heads down and go back to work.
Honestly, he's right about the passing offense. It just frankly wasn't very good in this game. 19 of 37, a 51.4 completion percentage, 192 yards, 5.2 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and a 64.3 rating. That's on the game, so that's all 3 quarterbacks. Justin Fields, that's Brady Cook, that's Adrian Martinez. And the big one was obviously Justin Fields. He got 2 possessions. One was a field goal drive. The other, the Jets punted. But for Justin Fields, he went 1 of 5 for 4 yards in the game, which clearly it's a small sample. Number one, it's a small sample size, but they did not have that same success that they had a week ago. Running the ball, I thought they did in the first half especially a really good job. Now in the second half, I think their overall numbers came down a little bit on the yards per attempt on the game, but they ran for 4.5, 4.6 yards per carry in the first half. And the Jets, both first team and second team offensive line was opening up some major holes in the run game. I honestly thought the pass protection was fine for the Jets. Obviously, they were going up against a really tough opponent in the Giants with their defensive line in their front, but I thought they held their own, honestly. And it was just one of those games where the passing offense just didn't have it. And look, I think honestly, last week got a little bit too high. I think the overall consensus on this team was maybe a little bit too high. And then after this game, I think reading the comments and reading the internet, holy smokes, I think it's too low. The swings for preseason performance is just, again, like I don't think we can be or should be. You can be whatever you want, but I don't personally think there should be these highest of high reactions after a preseason game, the lowest of lows. in reality, look, like I think there's going to be games this year where you have offensive performances like we saw against Green Bay, where they looked really good. And there's going to be other games where, yeah, it's probably not going to look so pretty for the Jets offense, and specifically the passing offense for whatever reason, right? Like, again, Justin Fields has been very inconsistent as a passer so far in his career, which leads me to think that I'm not going to say he's going to be horrible for all 17 games. I don't think so. I just think it's going to be up and down from him this year. And, you have Garrett Wilson at wide receiver, but then we've talked about it a lot. Beyond that, there's a lot of question marks at the position. Same thing with tight end. You have a rookie tight end who I'm very high on in Mason Taylor. He had the one catch that Justin Fields completed, but that's not going to be a perfect showing for a young player. He's 20 years old. He's not even 21 yet. There's going to be some bumps in the road, right? Like, it's not going to be a prolific offense. There's going to be weeks where it's really, really rough, and I think they're probably at best case scenario for this team hovering around 500. So there's going to be losses. And when they lose, the offense is probably going to be an issue in that game. And I just think we have to go into the season with that in the back of our heads, that this is not a team that's built to throw the crap out of the football, to, drop back 40 times in a game and throw for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. Like, that's not how they're going to win. If they're going to win games, it's going to be on the backs of their defense and a strong rushing attack. And you could debate whether that's the right way to play in today's NFL or not, but with how their roster is constructed and with the quarterback that they have, do they really have a choice? So I think it's going to be up to Tanner Engstrand to kind of put these guys in the best position possible to succeed. And again, some weeks it's not going to be pretty, and we just have to be okay with that. So that's it for me. Just wanted to come on here and hop on quickly to talk about the Jets' performance in this game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on Aaron Glenn's reaction to the New York Jets loss 31-12 to the Giants. Let me know what you think. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe here if you're new, and I'll catch you next time.